Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. KG is back. It is a live stream of transfer talk and fixture talk today. We're going to talk about the fixtures. Let me know if there's anything that's popping up in your heads of any run of games that you're looking forward to or not looking forward to. We're going to get into it. There's a lot of things, a little bits of details here and there on transfers. So we get into that. And of course, I'm sure you guys in the chat will let me know if there's anything that breaks while we're on stream. Hope everyone's doing well, feeling good, smelling good, working out right. That's the way you gotta live, people. That's the way you gotta live. Like the video. I'm just gonna get this out of the way. I don't usually do this now. I hope you guys have noticed. I don't really ask for likes until the end of the videos now, but live streams, please like the video upon arrival or upon watching the replay. Helps out the channel immensely and it helps me get more visible, which is always the goal of this thing. And Russ, absolutely here. Tough fixtures, but it's so nice not looking at fixtures like Oxford and Millwall away. Tears in my eyes, bro. Tears in my eyes. I mean, this is what I've been waiting for, man. And look, if you go back to when we do fixtures talk on in the Championship, it's like, yeah, we got Bristol City away. Yeah, it's like, who cares? You know what I mean? But we are back where we belong. Will we have the team to match it, though? That's the question. And we'll speak about transfers in a bit. KG, the man. Yeah, shout out to you, Darren. Chris saying here 5 to 9 points from the first 5, anything less far out. Chris, you're consistent, if anything else, man. You're very consistent. But you know what? We're going to speak about the opening fixture because it is a doozy, isn't it, for us? Like Sunderland's start, I think they've got a very good start, haven't they? I think they've got Burnley. They start with West Ham, Burnley, and there's someone else. I forget. But I do like seeing that Sunderland Newcastle is going to be a December fixture. That brings back just old memories for me of that fixture being in like the cold and stuff, and you'll still see Geordies and everything else with their tops off. Just football heritage, man. Football heritage. Darren, are you and Chris together in one room here? No, Farker out if we lose to Everton. We're gonna get into this. We're gonna get into this. But what we're not gonna do with this Leeds United comps is say stuff like this. First game must win because Arsenal is a write-off. We can't go into the games with that kind of attitude because if we do, we are dead in the water. Dead in the water. Now, football's not played on paper. And when we go through it, there's a real tough period that we're looking at. And it's like, oh boy, Sam Beckett settings. And if you know Sam Beckett, you'll know the show. But we have to go into every game thinking we can get something. We're not going to. Of course we're not. But we can't just go in there going, if we don't beat Everton, well, just leave Arsenal. What's the next one after Arsenal? We'll be dead. We'll be dead. Exactly, man. Yeah. Are the joys of not seeing Preston North End. I love it. I love it. I love it, and I deserve it. I deserve it. Yeah, and also that's got to happen as well. And look, even with those teams that got relegated in the last season, let's take them as example. Nowhere near enough points on the board, but they got points in places where they shouldn't have. We need to do that, but also get points in places we should. You know what I mean? Use Ellen Road to our advantage. And it doesn't get any better, man. And I don't know about you guys, but when I saw the fixtures, that made it more real. I know we was already promoted and everything else like that, but for me, it's kind of like the whole championship thing where we stay down a second year. It didn't feel real until I saw the fixtures, and you see the fixtures and you see Portsmouth at home to open. You're like, oh my God, we're doing this again. But now you see the fixtures come out and it just feels, yeah, we are back. We are absolutely back. And when you look at this as well, the opening weekend, we start on a Monday night, man. They couldn't wait to get us on TV already against Everton. And I was going to go to the opening home game, but I'm not going to be able to make an 8 o'clock kickoff at night. So that's not going to happen for me. I'll go to another game. But yeah, it's a good start, isn't it? And you just wonder with Daniel Farker, is he thinking, oh no, I wish we had a tougher fixture to begin with, you know what I mean? Because there's going to be expectations with this. And let me just say it for both sides, because Everton will also be looking at this fixture going, we should be going to Leeds and winning. It's one of those games where both teams will be looking at each other for a chance of 3 points. But we have to be looking at this one for 3 points. Have to, no matter how the squad looks. You know, if we've got Meslier in goal still, then we might as well just forget it and give Everton the points before we kick off. But if we've got a team, whatever in iteration it's going to look, that has to be one where you get 3 points. Because I can already feel it already, people. I don't know about you. Give me your thoughts on this. But if we draw against Everton, that would be very underwhelming for me. Yeah, I mean, it would be very underwhelming, and it shouldn't be. We got no divine right to points, but I'd be like, damn, why? Okay, we didn't beat Everton. Where's the first 3 points coming from then? You know what I mean? It's one of those for me. Yeah, they couldn't wait to get Leeds back. This is what I mean. Listen, they wouldn't want me running the Premier League because I'd have it like America, where was like loads of teams just can't get relegated. I would have the Premier League fixed. Okay, some of these teams would be out of here, straight out of here. I'd be bringing back Coventry. I'd be bringing back Sheffield Wednesday. I'd be bringing back a whole host of clubs to make this feel real Premier League again. You know, one of those. Isaac, Everton are due for a relegation battle. Listen, at some point that luck's going to run out, but you know what? I just don't go against Everton anymore because they just keep on escaping no matter what. And they actually finished very strong last season, but their team is still, as it always looks, just very ordinary, very just meh. You know, there's nothing to it with Everton, but they just have this grit, this determination, what just hasn't seen them relegated. So you have to give them credit for that. But maybe this could be the year. Maybe this could be the year that they finally go below that dot and get relegated. Imagine that in their new stadium and all that. That would be something, wouldn't it? Darren here saying, hate these Monday fixtures. It's 4 a.m. in Singapore on a Monday. Oh, that's brutal for you, man. That's brutal for you. Yeah, Jay, Everton under Moyes are decent. They absolutely are. They absolutely are, man. So there's the opening one, but let's go into our fixtures and let's see where we go with this. Wow, God, it feels good, people. It feels good. Let's go. Is there for everyone in the chat? I've put a poll in the chat just to see what you're going to think we're going to get from our opening 5 games, and I'll get that up in a bit. It's on a bigger graphic. But yeah, just let me know what you think the point total is, and I'll get there for the end of the stream. I promise. But we start with Everton at home, Arsenal away, Newcastle at home. That's tough. Whether we're home or away, Newcastle are a tough team. And if they still have Isak there, no matter if they still got Isak, they still got other threats in that team. That's a tough game. That is not a gimme at all. So an Arsenal away, they're Arsenal. They're going to be tough regardless of what's going on up front with them. That's always going to be a tough place to go, the Emirates. So you're looking at August and saying, Everton, we need that. And we need to take it. You know what I mean? It's one of those where they won't have a choice. September, October is where I feel that we're going to need to get some joy. I don't know about you guys here, but, you know, look at Fulham away, Wolves away. I'm even looking at Wolves away and thinking we should be doing something there. Bournemouth, you know, that's a tough one. It's a tough fixture, but at home, that's a kind of fixture that where you get 3 points, other teams around you probably won't get. So you need to aim for these kind of games and stuff like that. Like I say, there's no free hits, there's no write-offs, but, you know, just trying to look at it, you know, on paper, because obviously it's not played on paper, is it? Annabelle saying here, rather get Arsenal away at the beginning of the season. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, as we always know, we play each other twice regardless, but yeah, nice to get that one out the way for sure. And then October, Tottenham at home. Obviously it's going to be very different now under Thomas Frank. I would have felt a lot more comfortable if it was still Ange Postecoglou in his Bielsa-like ways, but yeah, that's going to be tough. But some of these teams are playing Champions League and having to get back into that grind. We'll see how they get on. I don't know when their next Champions League fixture is, you know, in between our game, but maybe we can catch them on an off day. Who knows? Burnley away, that they'll be looking at us for 3 points. I am definitely looking at them for 3 points there. Got to. And West Ham at home. Don't know what this version of West Ham is going to be this season, but it looks like they're going to stick with Potter. Will they get better performances from some of their players this season or not? But again, I look at West Ham at home as a game that we should be targeting to win as well. I won't go through the whole fixture list, but let me just say this. December is an absolute doozy, isn't it? December is an absolute killer. Chelsea at home, Liverpool at home. Who knows what this version of Brentford is going to be? Crystal Palace at home, going to be tough. But Sunderland away, you know, I feel we should be beating them, but you never know, you know, the Premier League thing. Liverpool away. And then, you know, if you want to slide it into the next one, the next fixture after Liverpool away is Man United at home, January 3rd. I'm sure everyone already knows that from the FA Cup, but who knows if that game will get moved. But that is an absolute tough run of fixtures. That is a crazy run of fixtures, isn't it? Darren saying, I was searching for easy games, couldn't find any. I feel there's some, Darren. And listen, people are looking at us like that, by the way. They're looking at Leeds. Yeah, 3 points there. But I'm looking at Burnley, looking at Sunderland and saying that should be maximum points. You know, we were far superior than those teams, not Burnley, but when you look at Burnley now and what they've lost one of their centre backs, could be losing another. Don't know about Josh Brownhill, don't know about Trafford. They're going to look very different in this league than they did in the championship, and not in a positive way either. So unless they absolutely replace them with diamonds, they're going to look, you know, very different. But you know, no easy fixtures. I think Wolves, we should be looking at those as a possible one as well. This version of Brentford, let's see what they look like. There's going to be ways to get points for me. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Merry Christmas, man. More like Merry Fistmas, because it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be really, really tough. What we saying here, Russ? Oh yeah, Michael. Yeah, Michael. Liverpool away. Last time we played them, we beat them and condemned ourselves to Jesse at the same time. Yeah, it's that. I mean, that's just a Leedsy thing, isn't it? You go to Liverpool and it saves somebody's job, and meanwhile we're letting Unai Emery go to Villa. You know, I mean, it's yeah. I mean, that was the old regime, of course, but you know, hopefully we have better luck this time around. But yeah, but listen, getting Liverpool out the way in 1 month, I don't mind that. You know what I mean? Liverpool home and away, but of course there's scope for some fixtures to be moved. Donna's here saying Wolves need some good recruitment to replace most of their key player. They absolutely do. I know they've signed someone very recently, Donna's, but I couldn't tell you the name. But yeah, they've lost two big pieces, Eight Nuri and Cunha. That's massive for them. Absolutely huge. So I'm looking at every team around that area and thinking, who can we drag with us to make it even more, you know, competitive at the bottom? And they're one of them. Direct saying Unai can never work with Orton. No, because Unai would actually want good players and not people that just makes him feel good and have passionate family moments. You're absolutely right. So yeah, December, January. I mean, look at that. Even if you extend January from Liverpool away from December, Man United, Newcastle away, and then Arsenal to end the month. It's the toughest league. It's tough, tough, tough. But we're gonna have to get points somewhere, people. February. I mean, yeah, Villa away, Chelsea away. Lord, Man City at home. Lord have mercy. Sunderland at home. Got to be aiming for that. Palace, Brentford. That's not too bad actually. March is actually probably one of the better months we've got. And April too, in all fairness. But this is where it is in May. For me, I want our survival, you know, just done and dusted by, shall we say, like Tottenham away, you know, just to be safe by them, please. You know, I don't want to rely, because actually those last two fixtures aren't so bad, but the pressure, we know what the pressure's like when it comes to Leeds United. I want it all done by Tottenham away. That would be lovely for me, lovely. But I'm talking as a fan in a perfect world. It probably won't be that way, but I just hope it is. Darren here saying as well, that's why we can't sign duds. We need good players to compete. Yeah, I mean, we've kind of already started with Metra, in all honesty, if we're being really, really honest about it. But the next one, and we'll speak about in a bit, Bijol, he's no dud. And some of the players that we've been linked with have been very, very good. I want to speak about a left back, which gives me a little cause of concern just from his style of play alone. But yeah, we need to be signing players that are just levels above. That's why you need to aim for the Diarras. And we'll speak about that later on, because that whole thing is just making my head go funny. I don't know where we land with Diarra, but yeah, we need to sign some absolute talented players, and there's no doubt about it. There's no room for sentiment, and that's why again I need to see more reports of Jack Harrison finding a move elsewhere, Brendan Aronson finding a move elsewhere, Bamford, you know, being shown the door one way or another. We need to use that money, we're paying those players, to pay players that will actually help this football club this season for sure. Um, but yeah, so people, it seems that everyone's in kind of like the same consensus. It's December and, you know, the start of January, which is the tough period. But yeah, let me see what people are saying in the poll, because this is our first five just for ease. Obviously, Everton at home, Arsenal away, Newcastle at home, Fulham away, and Wolves away as well. First five, and I've put a poll up there for how many points you think we'll get, and we'll get to that at the end of the show. Okay, we'll do that at the end of the show. So let me click off, because I've got a lot of tabs open here. Okay, so let's go into some news. Baron Cross has got quite a few of the bits here, and then we'll move along. But there's a few other bits to add on onto this as well that come up later in the day. But beyond medical today with Udinese agreement near. Yeah, so Bijol is in the building at Thorpe Arch doing his medical, and it will probably get confirmed maybe later tonight, probably latest tomorrow, possibly. I know there was a few of you concerned about Newcastle, that will they hijack it. I'm very comfortable with this one. I don't think this deal will get hijacked. I think that this deal is pretty much done. It is just the medical stage now. I don't think we're going to get a Max Aarons situation here where we get, sucker punched at the last minute. Obviously, if Newcastle put in a serious bid, then there's questions to be asked. But I think everything is done between the clubs, and it's good that we find the middle ground there, because Udinese wanted like 25 million euros. We got it to 22, didn't we? So we found a negotiation and a nice middle ground there. But yeah, I see no worries about Bijol coming. I think he's coming to play for Leeds United, and I'm very excited about that one. Just a big man at the back there to go along with Joe Rodon and maybe Pascal Struijk in the 3. Who knows? Who knows? We shall see. But yeah, Fabrizio put that out earlier. But what he also put out is that Slovenian defender Lovro Golic, I'm going to say that, will leave AS Roma as a free agent. Decision made. Hoffenheim, Lecce, Leeds United among clubs to sign the Slovenia under-21 international. Guys, I do not know who this is. And I won't pretend to know. Never seen him play. Haven't even seen him kick a ball. He's a Slovenian under-21 centre back. That's all I know. But Fabrizio put it out that we're interested in signing him on a free deal. And obviously, with one of his countrymen already here, it may be easier for him to, get settled in a foreign land, in England. But yeah. Could be available on a free. We'll keep an eye on it if Leeds United choose him. Yeah, I've not heard of him, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend either. One of those. But yeah, so Lovro Galic, maybe he comes to Leeds United. Next, so let me click these off as well. Honestly, got so many tabs open, man. So many tabs. Beran also then reported about Fulham rejecting a Muniz bid of £26 million plus 6 million add-ons earlier in the window. I've got to say, that is a lot of money, and I do like Rodrigo Muniz, and I would, if Leeds United could agree a deal to sign him, I would like it, but that's a lot of money. But what I will say is that maybe there's a way of getting him, because Fulham are in for Ricardo Pepi, who's pretty decent as well. So if Fulham are to sign Ricardo Pepi as another striker to go with Raul Jimenez, maybe that makes Rodrigo Muniz available for a more reasonable, realistic price. Because for me, 30 million plus for a year left on his deal when he's only started 8 games for you. I mean, you're going for the absolute, you're shooting for the moon with that if you're Fulham, and you're hoping someone pays it. But we shouldn't be paying 50 million for Rodrigo Muniz, even though I do think he would fit in really well here. But maybe there is a deal to be done if they do sign Ricardo Pepi. So it's one of those where maybe we have to see how the chips fall with Fulham and see where they go. And if they do sign him, maybe they make him available. But yeah, absolutely, Darren. It's good we're pursuing players like Muniz. Absolutely. This is the kind of player you want. This is the kind of forward you want. And I do think as a starting forward, he would thrive even more. He literally got 8 goals. And obviously they didn't just come in his starts, but he only started 8 games for Fulham last season. So the fact that he got 8 goals is a really good return. And he's a good movement on him. He's not slow, but he's strong as well. Will open up space for our goal scoring wingers too. There's a lot I like about Rodrigo Muniz. The only thing I don't like is that price Fulham are quoting, and they're well within their rights to do that. If they feel he's worth 50 million to them, that's up to them. You just have to hope someone is not stupid enough, but willing to pay it, of course. And yeah, Darren also adds there should be more targets in this price range. Yeah, and there should be some for cheaper than this as well. And just to say as well, because before I move on, we were linked with Promise David. It did look like he was going to Paris. He's actually staying at USG. So Promise David isn't going anywhere this summer. He is staying there. But yeah, we'll see what's going on with Muniz and see if there's any other updates. But yeah, one to look out for, because yeah, I would like Rodrigo Muniz in the building, but bring that price down, Fulham, please do that for us. Do that for us. Left back, Baron Cross mentions that Leals Goodmanson is a left back they like. Now, Gabriel Goodmanson, this is a real odd one for me. Not odd one, but the way he plays is very aggressive. And I don't mean aggressive in the tackle. That's probably his weakest thing. It's going forward. He's usually up the pitch. Now, this is where that's why it's just so different from Alex Moreno, who for me is more of your steady Eddie and something that I do think that we're going to need. Gabriel Goodmanson is basically like a Furpo. So it's really odd that not odd, but it's very different that we're looking at him. Maybe I don't know what it is that they're going to see in him in terms of if we come up against the Newcastles and Liverpools, because he plays very high up the pitch. So if we're signing someone like Goodmanson, for me, it does indicate a change in system. It would have to, because otherwise we will get overrun if he's found up the pitch and out of position, which is what he does. So yeah, I mean, yeah, and James. I mean, I'd probably rate him, James, if we were maybe like 2-3 years in. I just feel that we need to be more assured in defense than an attacking fullback like this guy is. I don't know if he's going to fit in. Well, of course he'll fit in. I just don't know if his style of play is what we're going to need in our first year back. And that's my only concern. That's my only concern. Keep saying here, I do appreciate that you fully admit you're not heard about someone instead of some that say here is a great youngster. Yeah, no, I only will ever say, and this has been one of my things from when I started my channel. If I haven't seen a player play, I'm just going to tell you, because there's no glory in me saying, oh yeah, what a player, and then he turns up and he's an absolute flop. You know, one of those. It's one of those where if I don't know, I don't know. Okay, I will always try and find out a bit more. I'll always go back and look. I'll ask some of my scouting mates to send me some videos and stuff. But if I don't know, I don't know. And sometimes in life, when you don't know, just say I don't know. You know, one of those. Keep saying here, I also think we get Muniz. They're getting a replacement, trying to get a little more. I think it'll be 28 plus 8 million add-ons. Keith, that is very expensive. Again, I like Muniz. That is very, very high. If he comes in at that price, he is the number one striker. Joel Peru's going to have to hold the bench unless we're playing two up front, which we're not going to. So that would be very high, Keith. But yeah, Mark, and hey, Everton fan here, looking forward to August 18th already. Listen, Mark, I can't wait. And I like that Premier League fans are already bantering. I've already had it from Spurs fans. I love it. This is what I live for. I don't live for Bristol City fans trolling me. I don't. I just can't deal with it anymore. Chris here, I'm more impressed when we find players that KG doesn't know. Fabrizio Romano looks to KG for advice. That's tremendous, Chris. That's tremendous. Michael here saying here regarding transfers, seems to be a majority of the bargains values to be had from League One. I've said that many times yet, Michael, and you're absolutely correct. Most clubs they're a skin. It's not that they're all skin, but they just can't, you know, command the big fees like many other clubs around Europe. Some of the players that go for the prices that they do is just criminal for this kind of players, and then you see what they turn into. But that's just the thing with League One. I mean, they've got a TV deal now, but at one point a couple of years ago, they almost didn't have a TV deal. That's how on the edge it was, and sometimes it relies on what PSG are doing. Obviously, they're the European champions now, so they're fine. But yeah, there is just so much talent, and this is what I mean. Like Truffer, who's gone to Bournemouth. If we were signing him, I'd understand it because he is a two-way defender. Goodmanson, though, he's very one way. So we'll see if anything else comes of this one, but one to keep an eye out for. Absolutely great. I love watching Liga 1 football, man. Absolutely love it. I hope to get to a Liga 1 match one day. I really do. Darren here saying Everton probably thinking we're 3 easy points. They will be, Darren, as we're looking at them as saying we've got to beat them at home. They'll also be looking at us and go, this is a great start. Newly promoted Leeds United. What a way for Moisey to get off to a good start. It's brilliant. No, I love it. I love it. This gets me excited in this way of talking football. This gets me excited. Next one was, let's have a look here. Charlie Creswell. Let's speak about Charlie, man. Let me have a sip of drink. So Charlie Creswell is being linked with a move away already, which was bound to happen. All he needed was the opportunity, man. All he needed was an opportunity to play, and he's proved himself in Toulouse. He's done very well over there. And Cesc Fabregas at Como, who's already taken Martin Bacharina. I said I wouldn't mention him again, but I did. I'm sorry. Is now looking at Charlie Creswell, and they're looking at around a £14 million deal. And because of a sell-on clause that we've attached to it, we could be pocketing around 1.5, 1.6 million, depending on the fee. But my Lord, the fact that they're selling him for 14 million a year later. I mean, I said it at the time when we sold him. We've undersold an England under 21 international for 4 million, and he had like 3 years left on his deal. I said at the time, I understand why Charlie wants to leave, and he's spoken about in many interviews in terms of, you know, wanting to play football, and that's why a loan was never going to be an option. He wanted a clean break, go somewhere where he felt appreciated and would play more, and he did that. But the fact that a year later is being flipped for at least 40 million is it's criminal what we did. Honestly, for 4 million, there's no other team in England that would sell a current under 21 England international with 3 years left on their deal and a boatload of potential for £4 million, man. But the club backed Farke in this one, and obviously let Charlie go with the best wishes. But man, you know, to get back what 1.6 million, so we're going to make just under 6 million for this player, man. Oh man. Yeah, and it's not just that, Darren, man. His defending improved immensely. He started out a bit shaky. I did see a few Toulouse games where he looked a little, you know, but that was just him getting off the ring rust of not ring rust. He's not a wrestler. The rust of not playing, you know, regular football or any football, in fact. But then he just grew into it through the season, and obviously he enjoyed himself immensely in Ligue 1, and he could be going to Serie A now. And I say good luck to him, because I thought he'd be coming back to the Premier League. And it looked like Sunderland were looking at him, and it was around 8.5. But if they're going to get like 14 million, fair play to him. Fair play to him. But I said at the time, and you can go back to the video when we sold him, I knew he would be back or having a transfer somewhere else a year later or something like that. All he needed was the opportunity. And just to think, we could be going in with Charlie Creswell now, and he would be a legitimate option at Premier League level. He's done brilliantly, man. Done brilliantly. So yeah. So, you know, good luck to Charlie, but yeah, Leeds look set to, you know, gain a little windfall upon his next potential transfer, which is great news. Now, one transfer here. Let me just get this one out of the way, because we were linked with him earlier in the season, but it doesn't look like Leeds United are going to be going for Max Aarons. Thank God. It's going to be our other, you know, our little sisters in Scotland. No, Rangers man to get him mad at that one. But yeah, it looks like Rangers want to get Max Aarons, and Mark McAdams very good with all the Bournemouth stuff. And it looks like they want to loan him out there, but Bournemouth want to sell. So we'll see. But thankfully for me, that means Max Aarons isn't going to be an option here, because I got to say, I do like Jayden Bogle, and I hope that he continues the form that he had. But I do feel like we need like genuine competition for Jayden Bogle at right back, and not just Max Aarons, who for me comes in straight away as a backup. That won't do Jayden any good. We need healthy competition at fullback positions. So yeah. Yeah. Darren, let's send Fargo to Rangers. Shane here saying Fargo has to hit the ground running or get the bullet after 10 games. Yeah. You know what? And listen, I'm not exaggerating here or trying to, you know, cause any drama, but I just think, you know, if we are to lose that first game at home to Everton, I think talk will already happen. Not between the board and not between anything else like that, but I think fans will be like, well, we haven't won against Everton at home. We've lost the game. You know, where are we getting the points? But yeah, there's going to be pressure on him regardless. But I hope he does well, because it means that we're doing well. And it is as simple as that. I hope Farke comes up with new plans, because you can't run the same plan in the Premier League. This is not Plymouth. This is not Bristol City. You're going to have to come up with new plans, and he's going to have to adapt. He's got no choice. So hopefully it works out. I know a few of you don't want him to work out, Chris, but I do, because if he's not working out, it means we are stinking out the joint, and I don't want that for this football club. So please, Daniel Farke, please just be adaptable, please. That's all I ask. I don't ask too much. Just be adaptable for different teams. That's it. You know, we can't run the 4-2-3-1 against everybody. It don't work like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, moving on to another target, and this one, like I said near the start of the video, is just blown my mind. Because in reports in France are saying that this is a deal done with Habib Diarra, but then we've got reports over here saying that we are unlikely to get him. I honestly, and that is where we are right now. I don't know. I have no idea if we're going to get him or not. It's unknown. But what I will say though is that the Sky guy, I think it was Rob Dorset. I mean, he's not very reliable. Got to say. I mean, he'll probably announce the Metcha signing next week. You know, I mean, Sky are very late. People talk about Sky. They are the big bad broadcast. broadcaster. They've got all the games and everything. But when it comes to transfers, they aren't the greatest anymore. It's a different world. And I said this when we was in the Premier League last time. They were starting to come last in many of the transfer news. It's even worse now. But so I wouldn't take his word as gospel. I think Ben Jacobs was the other one again who's very hit and miss. But yeah, it's one of these where, according to reports in France, he's coming. Other reports are saying it's unlikely. So, but for me, again, you get a Habib Diarra, and I think Villa have registered the interest now, which is very worrying. But this is the kind of player where you look at certain games and you go, he's going to make a difference in that game. He is a difference maker. So I do hope that the reports are true. 17 million, I want that. And we can get him. Leeds United comes to saying here, think Diarra is waiting for better offers, possibly, and I do think that is a distinct possibility. But this is where you get, your recruitment team to get aggressive and not say you better sign or else, you know what I mean? But just say we're bringing in Bijol. We want to bring you in. We also aim to bring in so and so, so that we're not fighting, tooth and nail at the bottom of the league. That's how you get these kind of players in, or even say, look, listen, after this season, if you want to move on, if a Champions League comes in for you, we won't step in your way. We'll put a clause in your contract. Everything else, just get the guy in. You know what I mean? There's all these kind of talks that go on anyway, and I'm sure Leeds are doing all they can. But yeah, this would be a lovely one to get in. And also now with Chris Wilder, leaving Sheffield United, Harmer's got no loyalty to them now. I want us to get him in as well, but I've heard nothing lately that we're even in for Gus Harmer lately. It's been all about Diarra, Uche more recently. His name's kind of gone to the back of the pile, but you kind of think that would be an easier deal to do with Sheffield United staying in the Championship, but we shall see. Yeah, exactly, Mark. Mark is an Everton fan. We are meant to, could be possibly after him. Who knows? Yeah, Everton, I've seen you link with Habib Diarra as well. But when I saw that Villa link earlier, I went, Villa, game changers. Unai Emery, who wouldn't want to play for him? You know what I mean? But yeah, so Habib Diarra, that's another one. So have I got everything done? Have I got everything done? I have so many. Honestly, so many tabs open. Let me just see if there's anything updated while I'm online now. Anything new? Anything new? João Pedro possibly to Chelsea. That does not concern us. As you know, these things change all the time, people. So when I finish this video, Bijol will probably sign in an hour. You know what I mean? It's one of those. Direct here, KG, do you think they're focused on making a tough but stable team versus a creative one? Absolutely. Especially, by the way, especially with Farke here. We know Farke is more defensive minded anyway, and that's the right way to go. I'm not against it, but you will still need, your players to get forward and score goals at some point. Can't just all be defense first. But obviously, you're looking to lock things down, make you as tough to beat as possible. So absolutely, we're looking to be solid first, and I think Bijol kind of sends out that signal as well. And even if you're looking at Diarra, Siddiqui as well, those kind of energetic box-to-box players with creative side as well, but do the defensive work. Yeah, it's all about that kind of profile, I think, at this point in time. But Gus Harmer does that as well. He does all of that defensive work too. So, but yeah, we shall see. We shall see. Darling here saying, heard it was a contract breakdown with a release clause fee. It could be, but those kind of things can get ironed out. Maybe he wants a release clause in there that's lower than what Leeds are comfortable with, and it won't be a relegation release clause because, I don't know why fans say they don't want players that want to come only if they've got a relegation release clause. With Leeds United in our first year back, players are going to want relegation release clauses, and they're entitled to them as well. But maybe it's a case of a minimum fee release clause, and we want it to be a certain amount, but he wants it to be a bit lower, and it's probably less comfortable what Leeds are comfortable with. But negotiate that, man. Come to, meet in the middle ground. Come to some kind of arrangement and get it done. Don't let a release clause fee be the stumbling block from getting a talented player that will help us this season and hopefully beyond. If we impress, even more, it's possible. That's what happened with Villa. I'm sure they signed players and didn't think that they were going to be there long term. But when you get the right coaching, when you get the right results, you keep those players and you build off it. And that's my hope. That's the best case scenario, of course. Worst case is that we stay up and we have to sell him for double the fee we paid for him a year later. You know what I mean? That's it. Exactly, yeah. Players are workers. They expect them to want the best contract for us. Absolutely, direct. Absolutely. But yeah, that is it, people. I got everything in under 35 minutes, which is pretty impressive because I got a whole lot of stuff open. But yeah, hopefully if you've enjoyed the video. Please like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't too. Drop your thoughts, comments on anything discussed below. And I'll see you in the next one, people. Peace out. And I'm ending it like this because I'm hot as hell and I can see I'm glistening. Peace out, people. Enjoy the rest of your day.